What's going on, guys? Crypto Renegade here. In today's video, we're doing a hardware wallet comparison on the NGrave Zero, which is an air-gapped premium high-end device that is completely cold and uses QR code for transmission. And we have the brand new SafePal S1 Pro, also air-gapped device, also uses QR codes for transmission. So stay tuned, you do not want to miss this one. All right, guys, welcome back. So in today's video, we're gonna be doing a comparison, as I mentioned, between the NGrave Zero, which is, if you're new to this channel, you probably don't know that I am a huge fan of the NGrave Zero, which we'll get into a minute. And then we also have the SafePal S1 Pro, slightly different, and I'll go over a couple of different categories that I always cover, and at the end, I'll tell you if I had to pick between one of these wallets, which one I would buy. So there's three categories that we typically cover in these hardware wallet reviews, and these are the three that I personally use when making a hardware wallet purchasing decision. Number one is going to be the design, security, form factor, and the overall user experience of the device, because all of those things are super important to someone who actually will use it. Second thing, of course, is going to be any unique coin support, third-party wallet integrations, NFT support, dApps, so on and so forth. And then the third and final category is obviously the price, special deals that are going on and things of that nature, and ultimately which of these wallets I would pick if I could only pick one. Before I jump into this, if you've seen my channel before, you know I'm a huge fan of the NGrave Zero. This is a high-end and premium device. The price will obviously reflect that. The SafePal S1 Pro, I'm gonna start actually with this one because this is a new device. And as you can see, it looks very similar to the original SafePal S1, but they have made some significant changes to the actual design and the form factor. The D-pad for navigation is still the exact same size. The 1.3-inch color screen here is also the same size. From the looks of it, it looks almost identical, but they have an upgraded alloy and tempered glass that they've increased the security and the quality of. So if you drop this device, people have had issues where this slipped out of their pocket and they dropped it and the screen would crack because it was just a kind of a cheap, flimsy plastic. They've used an upgraded alloy and aluminum to make sure that the device is more robust while still keeping it affordable. On the side here, you still have just the one mechanical button for turning it on and off. You have a USB-C port on the bottom center here. This is for charging the device, as well as giving you an option if you want to upgrade the firmware and use any other third-party wallets, which you can do. And then the big thing on the back they changed here is they used to have the camera, which was actually smaller in the corner here, and they've moved it to the center. And also they did upgrade the camera. So the upgrade of camera is gonna have better aperture, better low light detection, and it's a very welcome upgrade. So a lot of the key things that make the user experience in the hardware in the previous version, the S1, they've made some very welcome upgrades. And I've been testing out this device for a good solid couple weeks now, and it is a lot smoother. They upgraded the processor. They upgraded a lot of different things to make it, a lot more user-friendly. And I'll give you some things that I don't like. In my opinion, they missed a few opportunities. I can completely understand of why they would want to keep it the same. It's gonna keep the manufacturing costs down. They're gonna keep the processes that they have to get it out to the public down. What I think that they should have done is I think that they should have increased the screen size, maybe moved it over to the left, and then made the D-pad bigger. Because honestly, if you've used the S1 in the past, or even this S1 Pro, the D-pad is so hard to navigate. Even when you don't have large hands like me, it's like navigating and doing these things it's not easy, right? So that's a missed opportunity. They, instead of going for a touchscreen, I understand why they want mechanical, makes it a little bit different, but they could have slightly moved the screen over, make it a little bit bigger. But those are my minor complaints, right? They had a missed opportunity with redesigning the D-pad to make it bigger and then the screen. With that said, the screen is big enough for you to see transactions. They do have the same CCAL5 Plus security element chip in this one. They didn't make any changes there. In my opinion, that's a small missed opportunity, but it is still a secure element chip on the device nonetheless. And then the last upgrade that they made to this physical device is the battery is now bigger. So The battery drain on the other device was a huge complaint or a huge problem for this one. This one will not only charge faster, but it will have a, we'll call it 15 to 20% increased battery life. So a lot of welcome changes. In other words, if you like the S1, you'll love the S1 Pro because it has all the same design and features. It's just better camera, better quality, better materials, pretty much better everything from that perspective. That's the security, design, form factor. The overall user experience is more fluid. It's a little bit easier to use, but it's still all the same with scanning the QR codes and using the app on your mobile iOS and Android device to initiate, sign, and send transactions. So that's phase one for the SafePal S1 Pro. Moving real quick over to the NGrave Zero. They've made some welcome upgrades to the coin support, which we'll get into a minute, but in terms of the overall design, security, and form factor, as you can see, this is a full 4-inch touchscreen display. It's a very high quality alloy. It's heavy, it's robust, it's a very high quality premium material that they're using. On the bottom here, you have your USB-C port. That's for charging the device, as well as upgrading the firmware. On the side here, you also have a unique mechanical button here. And what I meant to say about unique was just sort of the way that the curvature on the device itself, it just feels really good in your hand. There's no really sharp edges. It's balanced, it feels good, it holds well in your hand, and so I just wanted to point that out. On the back here, we have the fingerprint authenticator here, so that obviously you can use multiple fingerprints, you know, index, middle, ring finger. You can have also multiple people with multiple fingerprints in order to sign a transaction, which is pretty cool. And then you have the camera here for signing and sending transactions. So in terms of the security model, these are both air gapped. They both use a CCAL5 plus security element chip, but this one has an EAL7 certified firmware. This has the one up in terms of security. If you're looking for pure security, the NGrave Zero is gonna win. That basically means the software, the firmware, the overall security with third-party audits and all of those things is just far better. So overall, if you're looking at security, the NGrave Zero is gonna win in category number one, hands down. You have multiple options here, so you can actually just use your secret key. This one uses a proprietary key generation process. It also uses the NGrave graphene, which gives you a perfect key, a 64 hexadecimal private key, and you can translate it because it is BIP39 compatible to your 24-word recovery seed phrase. So you can get that here. You have passphrase options, hidden account options, device protection options, and then you can do different security models. So if you want to have, say, a fingerprint plus an 8-digit PIN to sign a transaction, you can do that. If you want to have one or the other, you can do that. If you want to have multiple fingerprints, you can do that. So you have a lot of diversity and a lot of options for paranoid people like me that want to have multiple steps in order to sign or send or authorize a transaction. And I like that it requires a fingerprint in order to do that. So not just anyone that can guess your PIN theoretically can go and steal all of your crypto and send it. So I like the multiple layers of security on this. Like I said, this one is technically going to have the same level of a security element chip, but overall it has that EAL7, which is the world's highest security rating that you can possibly get. So huge fan of that. So let's move on to category number 2. So if you've seen any NGrave reviews or if you've seen any of my reviews, I'll be perfectly honest, the coin support here still needs a little help. It needs a little work. You're still gonna have all your bases covered from a security standpoint. Your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, all ERC20 tokens, Dogecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Zcash, Tezos, Elrond, now renamed as Multiverse X, or the ticker is eGold or EGLD. Not to mention Litecoin, Stellar, Solana, all these ERC20 tokens, and then of course Avalanche, Polygon Matic, and Binance Coin and Binance Smart Chain. So a few welcome upgrades in terms of the coin support. I will be honest, they're in the process now of adding coins, but it is because they take security as the first thing that they consider when they add new coins. Is they don't just want to add every single coin and then go backwards later and looking for security flaws. They are very methodical in terms of how they add new blockchains and new coins, and they test the security model every step of the way, frontwards, backwards, sideways, it doesn't matter. And that's why it's been taking longer for the coin support to be upgraded on this device, not to mention other external factors, you know, funding, staffing, those kinds of things. But they do also take very close looks at the security models of each of these blockchains, making sure that they go through it with a fine-tooth comb. So some people don't like that. They think it's going too slow. I personally prefer that because this is where I store most of my private keys from a storage standpoint. I'm less concerned with coin support. because in my opinion, security is the most important factor when choosing a hardware wallet, but that's my opinion. Others, it'll be coin support, others, it'll be features, and others, it will be price. But you get what you pay for. I'll leave it at that. Coin support here still is pretty healthy, pretty robust. It kind of casts the wide net. Is it going to cover every coin? No, absolutely not. From NFT support, it does support Ethereum NFTs. They are in development with Tezos NFTs, Gold NFTs, and Solana NFTs as well. So the development there is in progress, but they're not quite there yet. Coin support on the SafePal. So if you use the SafePal S1 currently, you're gonna have all the same coin support. I will say that there is currently no third-party wallet support for the NGrave Zero, but you do have third-party wallet support for SafePal S1 Pro. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is, for example, third-party wallet supports would be like Trust Wallet, MetaMask, Sparrow, Electrum, things of that nature. So you are gonna get those types of coin support on the SafePal with those third-party wallet integrations, as well as native coin applications. For example, if you can see here, you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Binance Smart Chain, and all BEP20 tokens. You have a new coin, Aptos here, which was previously not available. Atom Cosmos, Avalanche, Bitcoin Cash, Cello, Dogecoin, Digibyte, which you can also get here as well. Polkadot, one of my favorite coins. They do have Optimism and Arbitrum, which I love. Moonbeam, fantastic. Injective Protocol, Kusama, Terra Classic, Matic, Solana, Theta, Ripple, Stellar, TRX. They just have a lot more coins and a lot more blockchains, tokens, and NFT support on the SafePal. They have a more robust integration, and they also have the development teams and everything behind that as well. But one of the things I do want to point out is, because you still have a screen here, for example, if I click on Bitcoin here and I want to click receive, I can enter in my security PIN code, which is anywhere from 6 to 12 digits, and then it will display a QR code directly on the device on the screen. So if I use my phone, I can scan it. Same thing goes here. You have all the security steps, and you can receive crypto directly onto the device itself. You don't have to use any other smartphone in order to receive any crypto, but obviously you need the smartphone to initialize and set up the transaction, then use the hardware wallet itself to sign and authorize it. But that's neither here nor there. If I'm being honest, the SafePal S1 Pro is going to win. If what you're looking for is coin support and you're picking between these two, obviously check the links down below in the description to see if your particular coin is supported. But in this round, SafePal S1 Pro is going to win. So that brings us to the third and final category of this hardware wallet comparison, which is price. Before I give you what the full retail prices are on this device, just a quick note, if you check my links down below in the description, because I'm partnered with these companies, not only does it help the channel out, but you will get the best discounts, promos, sales, anything that's going on are baked into my links down below, as well as any potential extra coupons and discount codes as well. So go ahead and check those out for what the current price is. Whenever it is that you're watching this, it doesn't matter. With that said, and that disclaimer out of the way, the full retail price for the SafePal S1 Pro is $89.99 or $90 US. This is more of an entry-level device, even though they've had some upgrades. It could also be considered sort of a mid-tier device, whereas the NGrave Zero is a premium and a high-end device. With that said, the full retail price on the NGrave Zero itself, $398 US, or if you get it with the graphene, which is the metal backup plate for you to put your perfect key, and you can split it. It's a very secure backup mechanism for your private key, so you can restore it in the event that you lose your paper backup and so on and so forth. That bundle is $498 US. Now again, those are both the full price. What any other sales promos, discounts, check the links down below in the description. Which brings us to the final conclusion of which of these devices would I buy if I could only pick one? As someone that has been in crypto security for years now, I've actually worked on developing hardware wallets with multiple teams, and I've been doing this for a very long time. My personal opinion is I would take the NGrave Zero, because to me, security is the most important thing of a hardware wallet. If it wasn't, I would say there's plenty of other software wallets and desktop wallets out there that are far better than both of these in terms of the user experience, the overall user interface, but that defeats the purpose of cold storage, right? So none of these are perfect. What I will say though is I would still pick the NGrave Zero, just because security to me, is the most important. If you don't have security, then you basically don't have what you need in order to mentally feel secure about your crypto wealth and your crypto savings. That being said, I would pick this mainly because it trumps it in security. If I was more concerned with coin support and features, and that was more important to me than just the overall security aspect, then I would choose the SafePal S1 Pro, because it still is relatively secure. You still have a security element chip. It is air gapped, which is still way better. These are both air gapped, so they're way better than a lot of the competition out there in that regard. So anything with an NFC communication, Bluetooth communication, Wi-Fi communication, other things like that. These are two of the best security models that you can get in a hardware wallet. So I will put that out there, that these two are top notch in terms of the way that they communicate. That all being said, if I wanted coin support, I would take the SafePal S1. And obviously there's a huge price difference, right? $89 is a lot more affordable than almost $400. You get what you pay for. I'm not saying that anyone is better for any one person, but security, this one clearly wins. Coin support, this one right now clearly wins. Pick whatever fits best for you. And if you have any questions or comments about any other things that I didn't talk about, leave them in the comments down below and I'll make a follow-up video for you guys. I appreciate your support. If you have any questions on anything that we talked about, let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next hardware wallet unboxing video. Crypto Renegade